Alright guys, this is exercise 1 of section 2, and this is similar to what we did the day before here, but actually I think it's a little easier. Yesterday we really did some wordy type problems and came up with equations that describe the situation, and here we're actually going to take a lot of the words out, and we're just going to give you two equations, and we're going to say solve this system of equations by graphing them. And when we say solve the system of equations or find the solution, well, basically we want to know where they intersect, okay, where they intersect on the graph, or where they cross. Alright, now I wrote this over here, y equals mx plus b, because we're still going to use this. M is our slope, b is our y-intercept. So if I go to graph this first equation, I can see it's already in the form y equals mx plus b for me. Alright, so my y-intercept, that's where we go first. My y-intercept is going to be 0, comma, negative 4. And my slope, so you get that right there, my slope, right, is 2 over 1. Alright, so let's go ahead and graph that. We've done this before. We go to our y-intercept first. So we go down to negative 4 and we put a dot. And then we use our slope to create other points. So we go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. And we do this all throughout the graph. And if you have a ruler, you really, after you get 3 or 4 points, you can just graph them. You can put that ruler out there and connect the graph. I do not have a ruler that I can use on my screen here, so I'm going to put all these points in. And I do want to label the x and y. That really bothers me. I need to get that on there. So go ahead and label your x and y. But anyway, we get all those points and we connect them. And this is why you have to use a ruler, because you want to be spot on, right, with these. You want to be right on the money, because we're going to look and see where they cross. Okay? If we go to do the other equation, again, it's already in the form y equals mx plus b. So my y-intercept here is going to be 0, comma 1. And my slope is going to be a negative slope. That's negative 3 over 1. Alright, so the y-intercept is going to go right here. That's 0, comma 1. And we're going to go now down 3 over to the right 1. And you can see that's where they're going to cross. Okay, so if you're really precise in graphing your coordinates here, you can see that they're going to cross at a nice coordinate for you. Okay, and again, I'm just drawing in a bunch of points to have a guide for me. So you draw your line, okay, and you can see they cross right there. Now I'm going to label my lines. This is one thing we really need to get in the habit of doing, is to label your lines. That's y equals negative 3x plus 1, and this is y equals 2x minus 4. Okay, so make sure you label your lines, and I'm going to circle that point, and to answer the question, we want the solution. That is the point 1, comma, negative 2. Okay, so it's really that easy. If you've been graphing these lines with y equals mx plus b for a while, which we have, it is really super easy just to graph them, label them, and see where they cross, okay, or where they intersect. Alrighty, so that's the solution to that system. If I plug this point in for y and x over here, it actually comes up as a valid solution. It comes up true. And if I plug 1, comma, negative 2 into this equation, it also comes up as a valid solution. Alright, so that's a check you can do. So let's go on to number 2. Let me get this one off of here, and this is similar, although we have a little more work to do, because we still need the form y equals mx plus b, and you can see this one is not in that form. Okay, so what we've done for a while now, if it's not in the form y equals mx plus b, then you put it in that form. So we're going to take away x on both sides, because I need to get x or y by itself. Okay, and we're going to have that, and we're going to divide by a 2 on both sides. So I'm going to get 12 divided by 2 is 6. And remember, that's a little negative 1 right there, so that's negative 1/2 x. Alright, and if you have to, and this is perfectly fine, if you feel the need to, you can take these two terms right here, and because of the commutative property, we can switch those around. Just make sure you bring the operation, right, the positive or negative, with the term. That's a positive 6, so that's where I get this plus 6, and that's a negative 1/2, so that's where I get that negative 1/2 right there. So my y-intercept in this case is a 0, 6, and the x-intercept in this case is going to, or x-intercept, I don't need my x-intercept, I need my slope. I could do it with the x-intercept, but we could do it with the slope, much easier. Slope is negative 1/2. Okay? Alright, or negative 1/2. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and graph that. 0, 6 is going to be right there. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to use my slope. I'm going to go down 1/2 to the right. Down 1/2 to the right, etc. I'm going to do that all along here, so I can get a nice graph right there. Again, you guys have a ruler, so go ahead and graph it once you get a few points in there. And I'm going to hopefully connect that with a nice straight line. It could be better. Alright, but I think I got through all the points. Alrighty, and then we're going to go ahead and graph this one. Now this is already in the form y equals mx plus b, so my y-intercept here is 0, negative 2. Again, I get that right from there. And my slope, my m, is equal to 5, 6. Alright, so I go to my y-intercept, I go over here, and this is 0, negative 2, and I go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And oh, look at that. That comes right onto that point. Alright, now I think I'm not going to fit another one up here, so I'm going to go over here. I'm going to put a third point. That's going to, instead of up 5/6, remember I can change that. That is the same thing as negative 5/6. So I'm going to go down 5/6 right there. Okay, and let's see if I can project this one and draw a line that is straight. Alright, we know it's going to go through that point right there. Okay, and so this is the graph of y equals 5, 6, x minus 2. Alright, and I forgot to label this one, so I'm going to do that right now. This is 2y plus x equals 12. Okay, and I can see that they crossed, or they intersect at that point right there, which is, what is that point? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, over 6, and up 3. So that is the point 6, 3. So that is my solution to this system. Okay? Alright, let's go ahead and on to number 3 here. Let me get this one off, and we'll get this one back on. There we go. Okay, number 3. Oh, that actually says exercise number 4. Okay, so anyway, do I have another one? No, I don't have another one. Let's go to this one. Okay, so exercise number 4, I guess it's labeled in your packet, or I might have fixed it. It might be number 3. But anyways, it's these equations right here. Let's take this one, and we have to solve it for y. So I need to take away x on both sides. And so what do I get here? I get y equals negative 2 minus an x. So watch your negatives there. And again, I'm going to switch these around. I'm going to use the commutative property to switch those two values around. So I get y equals mx plus b. Now in this case, my y-intercept is going to be 0, negative 2. And my slope is going to be what? It's going to be a negative 1. Alright, so I can write that as negative 1/1. Alright, so let's go ahead and graph it. We go to our y-intercept. That is 0, negative 2, and now I go down 1 over 1. Okay, and that's a pretty easy slope to put in there. Down 1 over 1 every time. Again, I'll put a bunch of points in there for me, so it makes it easier for me to draw. And I'm going to just go ahead and draw in that line. Okay, so we're going down 1 over 1 every time. And so that is it's pretty good right there. Alright, so go ahead and label that. That's x plus y equals negative 2. Alright, and now let's do the next one. This one's already in the form y equals mx plus b. So my y-intercept is at 0, 3. And my slope is right here. That's my 4 over 1. So let's see if these are going to cross, and if so, where are they going to cross? Let's see. Y-intercept of 3 is right there. Now I know they're going to cross down here somewhere if they do. So remember, a slope of 4 over 1 is the same thing as negative 4 over negative 1. So I'm going to go from here. I'm going to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1. And look at that. It comes right on that point. So I'm going to go down 4 over 1 again. Down 4 over 1 to the left again, and I'm going to connect to these points to make it look real pretty. That was a terrible line, so let's try that one again. Okay, we're going to go up, and bam, go right through there. Alright, and keep on going with that same trend. That is the point y, or the line I should say, y equals 4x plus 3. Okay, so there you have it. We're going to circle this point right here, and that is the point, what is that, over 1 to the left and down 1. That is the point negative 1, negative 1. So again, that y and x coordinate, x and y coordinate, will plug into each one of these equations and give you a solution. Alright, so there is solving, yeah, I cannot talk today. Woo, okay, that is solving systems of equations by graphing them. Alright, again, you put it in the form y equals mx plus b, and you use your y-intercept and your slope, and you graph them, and you have to be very precise because you want to see right where they come together. Okay, that's why you guys use rulers when you graph them. Alrighty, make sure you label your lines. Have a good evening. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.